What's better than Pokémon? For the hardcore fan, absolutely nothing. And for Nintendo, again, absolutely nothing. For the majority of Nintendo's handhelds, it's Pokémon that comes up tops when it comes to sales. Gamers bloody love collecting Charizards or whatever. And because of this, the company has made some serious bank selling the same game twice for as long as the franchise has been active. So you would think that they would be a bit more strict when it comes to people ripping them off on Kickstarter. Boy oh boy, does Kickstarter have a lot of Pokemon campaigns. Way too many to fit into this video, in fact. And the worst of the community's surprise is the pin community. I have moaned about these guys before and not always had the best response in the comment section, so just to clarify, I actually think unique art styles of already released characters and what have you are awesome. But so very, very often, these pins are simply traced from the source material by artists that kick up a fuss if their artwork is ever copied, and then those traced images are sold on Kickstarter as pins. They make a few hundred or at most a few grand, which in the grand scheme of things isn't a lot. In fact, it's just enough to stop the Pokemon company from complaining, even though they did it over and over again. However, as much as this community still blows my mind that they're able to get away with all of this, in this video I'm going to be focusing on all of the other projects that are not pin related, but instead just simply stupid. So make sure to hit subscribe, drop a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below telling me which one of these you think are actually worth the monetary support. As we look into 10 stupid Pokemon Kickstarters, welcome to Slope's Game Room. What's better than a Pokeball pin? Poketaxi. And no, it's not the name of Killing Kitten's latest taxi service, but instead the unfortunate name for Kahoot or Pad's very own Uber service that revolves around Pokemon Go. The idea is to stop players from all around the world using up their fuel, going on long trips to, I don't know, catch a Charizard or something, and instead use this campaign's app so that Pokemon Go players can add their Pokécar to the service and then go off together to discover the world of Pokemons together. Pokemons? Is that how you say it? Either way, you buy the Poke tickets, which on Kickstarter work out at 50 cents per ticket, and just like Uber, you take a cut of that 50 cents and old Kahoot here takes his cut too. A completely pointless campaign that shows no proof that the owner could actually ever achieve this goal, and of course a completely pointless app because, well, Uber already exists. Which is why it gained only $14 from its, $50,000 goal? What the fuck? What's better than a Pokemon and Shonen crossover pin set? Why, the Poke Gloves, of course. Now laugh all you want, finding the right gloves for Pokemon Go is actually quite a popular topic. YouTubers used to discuss it, Reddit threads question it, and the official Pokemon Center even sell it. £10 for some touchscreen one-size-fits-all glove that, sadly, Gemma here thinks are a little bit too tight. I'm a 30-year-old woman, so my hands aren't large. Well, they probably are the largest they're ever going to be, darling, at 30 years old. Either way, before that, if you wanted to keep your fingers toasty whilst getting, I don't know, a Charizard or something, then Kickstarter isn't the place for you. Come on, do I really need to tell you what's going on with this one? Obviously, it's just a flipped product from AliExpress being sold for $16 on Kickstarter and $5 on AliExpress. And no, thankfully, it didn't get funded. What's better than a Pokemon/horror movie icon crossover pin set? Pokémon, a safety vest for Pokemon Go players that allows you to be glued to your phone so that if you do accidentally walk out into the middle of the road, then it's more likely that the car will see you and hopefully not run you over. And obviously doing an image search, we get to see that these are just stolen images. I mean, did I even need to do this in the first place? It was so obvious. Look, I mean, they're not even trying to hide it by this point. What's better than a Pokemon and Sailor Moon hybrid pin collection? Pokemon the movie. And no, not that one or that one.
Why won't you get more Pokemon? It's because... I always want to be with you.
This one. Ah, look, it's a Charizard or something. What we have here is a live-action 30-minute movie with brilliant green screen effects. And before you hate on me for picking on kids for their school project, nope. This campaign goes into detail about how the campaign owner wishes he was still at school playing Pokemon on his Game Boy Color, trademark, and then getting home and watching Pokemon on the telly. Oh, how times have changed. Growing up, studying, working, and genuinely being a responsible adults tend to get in the way of your childhood loves as you get older. So, how did this movie in the music video section of Kickstarter, for some reason, actually do? Well, not all that great, unsurprisingly, as the only reward available here was $100 to get a shout out, which nobody signed up for. However, what you can do on Kickstarter, in case you didn't know, is sign up for no rewards at any amount, just to support the project. Which one person did to the oddly specific tune of €5.20, which was enough to get it funded as the goal was only $1. And that was back in 2016. So let's see how that final product turned out, shall we? No updates, no comments. And oh, look, here's the YouTube channel. Oh. This account has been terminated for violating Google's terms of service. What's better than a surprise Pikachu meme pin? Well, it's definitely not this, because honestly, I don't really know what this is. Pokemon Go, crypto, hashtag Pokemon Go made me make a digital movie, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark. Still confused? Let's check out the video.
Then he when
what? I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question.
It's like weird.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Now it's coming from Travis.
What are you worth?
What are you asking?
What are you worth?
I'm worth $1 million diamonds. That's what I'm worth.
Nope. I didn't edit that at all. That was the entire video. The description goes on and on about how the owner went to a restaurant and saw some kids playing Pokemon Go, probably trying to get a Charizard or something, and therefore he drove his kids around to nearby gyms, and because of that he's starting his own Pokemon cryptocurrency, but also maybe making a documentary about, honestly, I don't know what. I seriously have no idea what is going on with this campaign. The only update is that the campaign owner ended up driving around looking for youngsters that are playing Pokemon Go and interviewing them. Yep, that's not creepy at all. What's better than a Pikachu and Steve Harrington crossover pin? A Pokemon Gen 2 colouring book. Wow, would you look at that? A book filled to the brim with images ripped directly from Google and sold to you for $30 to $50 plus postage, depending on the thickness of the paper you desire, and heck, if you pay the top dollar, she will download these line art images from the second generation of Pokemon that sadly doesn't include Charizard, and put them in a PDF for you. Let's hope Nintendo don't find out, eh? Oh, God. And yes, this one actually did get funded to the humble tune of $536. Not bad for an afternoon's work, right? What's better than a Pokemon and medicine packaging hybrid pin set? Why, the unfortunately named Pokémon project. Just gonna say that again. Pokémon. Pokémon. Nope, this isn't a Pokemon crossover with an out-of-date derogatory term for Irish gypsies, but instead a sort of Pokemon crossover with that little IKEA dude that's in the instruction manuals of IKEA furniture. Honestly, this campaign actually isn't all that bad, and out of everything shown on here, I'm a little upset that this one didn't get funded. It's quite funny. It's just that the name is so bad, but also so brilliant for all of the wrong reasons. Pokémon. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Pokémon. And yeah, here you go. Here's a Pokémon Charizard or something, I don't know. What's better than a Porygon and Simpsons pin set? A USB charger in the shape of a Pokeball that is totally different from the stupid amounts found on 3D printer sites. I mean, do I even need to go into detail about this one? In my opinion, it's blatantly stolen from those sites and being sold for $30 on Kickstarter. But it's not all bad, because if you don't want to pay some random guy on Kickstarter £30 for a product that he nabbed from somewhere else and is now selling it on Kickstarter, you can instead pay him $10 for a Pokeball shaped mug. Oh no, wait, that's just resold stock too. Obviously, this one didn't get funded. Not enough Charizard, if you ask me. What's better than a bunch of stoned Pokemon pins? Why, it's a COVID-19 QR code on a Pokemon or Magic the Gathering card. So thankfully, the time for sharing a QR code to enter different events or travel abroad is now behind us, for the most part. But for those that don't remember, yes, it's quite literally that. You download an app that tells the world that you're all up to date with your jabs and what have you, and you can go about your day. It was a commonplace thing back in 2019 and for a couple of years after that, but again, thankfully for the most part, it's a done and dusted thing. However, back in 2021, this Kickstarter came along that allowed for real-looking Pokemon cards to be sent out that featured your unique QR code so that you can travel in style or something? I don't know. Ooh, is that a Charizard card? Nope. It's my COVID-19 vaccination QR code printed out onto a Pokemon card. How cool am I? Besides it being a simply baffling thing to do, the main problem is that the COVID-19 QR code updated every 6 months, as you would expect when new vaccinations came out, making this literal piece of card completely pointless within only a few months of owning it. And yes, this one actually did get funded. Am I alone? Is this not absolutely bonkers? What's better than a Togepi and Easter crossover pin? Why, the absurd amount of unofficial Pokemon game projects. Of course, I had to add some actual unofficial games to the list, didn't I? games that never had a chance, games that never got funded, and games that, of course, Nintendo simply would have never allowed. In fact, so many of these projects exist that I'm very tempted to make them into their own video. Let me know down below if this is something that you want to see. And if so, maybe, just maybe, it might be my very next video. But before that, let's show some love to John Cleaver, who was the first person, from what I can tell, to create a plastic housing for your phone that allowed Pokemon Go players to get the perfect straight throw on an iPhone. If you got a 3D printer, you can even download the project yourself to print your own. Well, you could do that, or you could go to Kickstarter, where plenty of people found out about this and ripped it off. You got the clip and catch, you got the straight ball thrower, you got the perfect aim, and finally you got the Poké Case. Thankfully, none of these campaigns were a success, as they all went up online at the exact same time, trying to rip off John's project. So if you want to support the guy that actually came up with the original idea first by downloading it yourself, or by buying it off his Etsy page if you don't have a 3D printer, a link can be found down below for you to do that very thing. At least now, going to get that Charizard is going to be a lot easier. Hey there guys, hope you enjoyed this video. This one was so much fun to research. I could have made this video 5 times over. Literally, there are so many campaigns that I can put into a video like this. If you guys want me to look into Pokemon video games that just never ever had a chance on places like Kickstarter, I didn't even touch Indiegogo. I had a quick browse on there right near the end, and there's loads of stuff on there too. Pokemon, my god, everyone does Pokemon projects, I tell you. Anyway, yeah, if you want to see me do more like that, let me know down below, and please do sign up to become a Patreon or YouTube member if you want to see the behind the scenes stuff on how I make videos like this, get to see them with all that, without adverts or sponsorships and all that other stuff as well. Get access to the treasure trove of all of my old content. There's so much in there. Unbelievable amounts in there, all completely ad-free, all sponsorship-free. There's loads of uncensored versions of Kickscammer episodes. There's everything. So if you guys want to support the show and get your name shown, like the people you see down here, or get your name shouted out like the people I'm about to shout out, then there'll be links down below to do that very thing. Now let's give out those shout-outs. With extra big shout-outs going to Aggro Crag, Akatimo84, Andrew Dalton, Arista, Benjamin Guy, Boots and Pup, Bram Perez, Chev Matic, Clan Bob, Conrad Constantine, To Action Saxon, Dina81, Derakuda, Ian Quell, Jaysman, Charles, Jabba Al Aiden, James, Jeff Mianowski, John Rogers, Kat Layton, Matt Jackson, Mike Fallon, Mind of the Unsane, Nicholas Burtner, Over Giles Zane, Roll VP, Ray Blair, Richard Alderdick, Ray Burford, what am I saying? Ryan Burford. I've just had chocolate. Ryan Burford, Sir Nilsson, Shade Silent, Shadow Dragon, Steven, That Gamer, The Sneaky Ferret, Todd Paul Float G, Vitas Varnes, Vike Echo, Wobbles and Bean, The Wonder Ducks, and Yelled Hamburglar. Thank you to all of those people I mentioned, and thank you to all of the names you see at the bottom of the screen, and thank you to all of my patrons and YouTube members. If you want to sign up, like I say, there's links down below. Otherwise, honestly, leaving a comment, giving it a thumbs up, sharing it on any kind of social media or Discord or anything like that, that's the sort of thing that really does help this channel more than you know. You think I've got thousands of people that watch this video, so if you're one of those people and you share this video in any possible way, that's the sort of stuff that helps out more than anything. Either way, I'm buzzing right now, I don't know why. This is DJ Slope signing out, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Thank you for the support, guys. Bye bye.